Was there a list of temples that President Nelson was preparing to announce at General Conference in October 2025? We have speculated on this. We've wondered about this. We've assumed that there was because President Oaks said he had gotten permission from the Q15 or was authorized by them or got their stamp of approval to not announce any temples. That made it sound like there had to have been a list that they all said, yeah, it's okay not to announce. So, well, now I've gotten some confirmation from a source that I trust that there were 17 temples that were going to be announced. I don't know what those temples are. There is one that I've discovered, South Lake. If you've seen some of my other posts about this in Texas, that the stake seems to be aware of there, even issuing callings having to do with this temple, but it's not officially announced anywhere. So maybe South Lake, Texas was one of the ones that was on the list. But 17 temples on a list that was seen by a source that I have. So that's really interesting because, as I've said before, in all of these temple building cities that I am in communication with, they are told, the residents that, may be opposing or the city council that has questions, we can't change where it is. We can't change what it looks like, the size, the height, the bright, because Jesus has given these instructions to the prophet. Jesus wants it that tall, that location, that bright. They're told this over and over, to which, it's hard to give an answer without appearing that you're some kind of a religious bigot, right? So here we have a list of 17 temples that now I believe absolutely did exist, according to my source, that Jesus, by the church's own explanation of how it all works, that Jesus gave to President Nelson to be announced. And yet, the Quorum of the 12, or the new acting presidency, not official yet, all voted, we don't need to really go through with what Jesus told our prophet. We can just kind of crumple that up and throw that in the trash. That's very interesting. It makes you think that maybe it really wasn't Jesus whispering in President Nelson's ear to write down these temples with his lighted pen. If it really is inspiration, revelation, as they tell these towns, we can't change anything, this is what Jesus himself wants, then why were they so easily able to simply say these aren't going to be built? It's not going to happen now. It's an interesting question, but the bottom line is I believe I'm satisfied with the answer from a source that yes, there were 17 temples that were supposed to be announced and they chose not to.